করুন। হ্যাঁ, কুশল আপনার। হ্যাঁ, কি অবস্থা? হুম, এটা হুম, হুম,
Morning, good morning, sir.
হুম, যে কোনো সময় ফুরিয়ে যাবে। ঠিক আছে, সিলিন্ডার,
Only to our speaker for today, Professor
সিলিন্ডার
Dr.
আপনাকে,
Avindu, sir.
একটা সিলিন্ডার আপনাকে পাঠিয়ে দিতে হবে, তাই তো?
Am
যে
I
আপনি
audible,
এসে
sir?
হারাতে হবে।
Audible,
Participant,
audible.
participants, Sachidananda Sarangi, sir, please mute yourself.
আরেক দিকে তো।
Uh, Good morning, Bhoop Singh Gaur, sir. Am I audible? We cannot hear you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Yes, now you're audible.
Yeah.
Good morning, respected director, sir. Am I audible? Good morning, respected director, sir. Am I audible? Okay, sir. Shall I start? Okay. So a very good morning to our respected director, sir, Professor Dr. Avindu Sanayak, our guest speaker for today, Professor Dr. Bhoop Singh Gaur, sir, who has recently joined as principal in a government college, Siwani, Haryana, India. I welcome all of you back to the fifth day of the second International Faculty Development Program on relevance of research methodology in social sciences. Our guest speaker for today is Professor Dr. Bhoop Singh Gaur, sir. To give a brief introduction about him, Dr. Bhoop Singh Gaur, sir, is an eminent sociologist and a proud alumni of JNU, and she is presently serving as the principal of the Government College Siwani, Haryana, India. He is the former president and first charter member of the Northwest Sociological Association, convener of RC21 Political Sociology, Indian Sociological Society, and editor of the ISS newsletter from 2018 to 23. At the international level, he was elected as vice president from 2023 to 27 of TG3 Human Rights and Global Justice, International Sociological Association. Professor Gaur has a remarkable record of academic leadership, because he has organized more than 30 national and international conferences, workshops, and even symposiums. He has chaired and presented in prestigious global forums like World Congress of Sociology, World Forum of Sociology, and World Women Congress. Notably, he coordinated TG3, organized 3 sessions, and presented 2 research papers at the 5th ISA World Forum of Sociology held at Rabat, Morocco in this year. His stature as a scholar is reflected in his delivery of keynote, valedictory, presidential, and plenary addresses, along with guest lectures and resource person engagements in India and abroad. A prolific author, Professor Gaur has published 10 books, including Sociology of Law, Conceptual Foundations of Gender and Political Sociology, which was released at the World Book Fair, New Delhi last year, and Life and Mission of Mata Savitribai Phule this year. His outstanding contributions have earned him several prestigious honors like the Haryana Gaurav Award, Rashtra Gaurav Award, Best Professor of the Year, Best Leadership Award, Shrestha Shikhak Samman, Best Performer of the Year, Ambedkar Ratan and Bhim Ratan. He has also been recognized among India's visionaries and trendsetters shaping the future 2025 by Forbes magazine in 2025. His areas of specialization include political sociology, gender studies, sociology of law, Dalit studies, and media studies. So it's an honor to welcome Professor Dr. Goop Singh Gorsar, who will be enriching all of us on the topic entitled Steps of Social Research. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, all of you. First of all, I want to thank the Professor D. Chanan and Dr. Madhurama and other members who are associated with this faculty development program. I thanks all of you. Due to some technical or internet connection, it is today we are facing some problem, and as my introduction has gone, and I have been told about to speak about the steps of social research. So when we talk about the research, or basically the research in social sciences, usually we see the word research. I think as far as my knowledge is concerned, world research was first time used in 16th century in France. And according to that, it means that it is a systematic investigation into the study of merit and material and sources in order to establish the fact and reach and new conclusion. Basically, it is a systematic investigation into the field of material and resources in order to establish the fact and new conclusions. So first, when we see while doing the research, two type of question usually appear in front of us. One assumption is that nature of reality that exists, or we believe as it exists. We assume that whatever reality we see, that is true, and as it is exists, it is our assumption. It is our assumption, and this type of assumption we know that is known as a ontological assumptions. And the nature of knowledge, what kind of knowledge it is, what exists or it is believed to be exist, because human beings are, you can say, forced to believe that this is the truth, this is the true knowledge. So that is a second assumption which is going on, or while doing the research you have two set of assumption. One is this nature of reality, and next is nature of knowledge. Which knowledge you consider the pure, which knowledge you consider that it is a true and verifiable. That is basically we call it epistemological assumptions. And when we talk about the ontological assumption, especially in sociology, then we talk about the objectivism. Reality, when we talk about the reality and say about what is real or which is not real, it is not basically, reality is not basically exist independently, because it is related to human being. And you can say that's why the reality is constructed and basically manipulated, and how it is presented in front of the people or in front of the society. Just our one of the founding member, Emile Durkheim, and we say that first and most fundamental role of sociological method. And he said that he talked about the fact, and fact what is real, and Then he talk about the social fact as a things exterior, and they have power of cohesion also. So same way the conservatism है, human being are meaning making individuals. How you construct a meaning after seeing a object, seeing a phenomena, and seeing a thing uh, in context of everyday reality. That is most important. We talked about the phenomenology. Alfred Suess, Peter Berger, and Luckman, they talked about that human beings are basically meaning-making individuals, and in context of everyday reality, what is real to me may not be real to other, and what is real to other, it may not be real to me. And how we construct the our everyday life, that depend. And then Garfinkel, taken the stance about the this ethnomethodological approach, and against this book, Garfinkel studies on ethnomethodology and how this is constructed and elaborated and indexes in epistemological approach is talked about. And positivism, when we talk about basically when we talk about the epistemologies, uh, then we must think about our founding father Auguste Comte, who was the founding father of sociology. And basically he was first he named it this subject as a social physics, because he was the astronomer, and he thinks that social phenomena can be studied like natural phenomena and natural science phenomena, and we can you can say apply the rule of natural sciences while studying the social sciences, or particularly society or social phenomena. And he adopt observation, historical, and comparison experimentation things he talks about. Then uh, our one of another leading professor, and you can say the classical thinker Max Weber, methodology of social sciences, subjective consideration and causal explanation. We talked about interpretative understanding, how you interpret and understand a you can say any phenomena. You talked about the ideal type and Versailles, and interpretative understanding according to local and other, and then how this phenomena can be explained through the causal explanations. So that was the basically that's why the interpretative epistemology basically don't depend upon the single source of data. It is oral, visual, document, basically multiple method of data collection and analysis. So that is the our Max Weber talked about then. And then the today we talk about the one more things, that is tranquilization. uh, Basically if you want to see that this methodology is more prone these days, data collection from different sources by different method, and that is analyzed, and basically explain the phenomena is called triangulation. How data is collected from different sources by different method is analyzed to explain a phenomena, because these days we are seeing that you cannot explain a social phenomena because it become so complex on the basis of you can say contemporary things or earlier classicals methodology we can explain. And that's why to explain completely this we have to do these things. And the Norman Dizzen identify four type in data, theory, investigation, and methodological. And same way, one more thing is there, contextualization. These days it become more relevant and more, because today in the world of you can say this mass media and a flood of knowledge, and without verifying, without basically having a typical base, cut and paste, and how a phenomena or a incident is spotted, and you can say cut and paste, small portion of a incident is cut or speech is cut, and how it is perceived as a truth and reality. So the statement said by anyone, whether it is a whole statement, or it is a basically how it is interpreted in a whole lecture and then smaller part. So and that's why you find the most of problem related to research also, that small portion is taken from whole without giving the whole reference. The contextualization, how a phenomena or how a statement or research is seen contextually, whether the statement or research done before 50 years, how it is contextually related, or you can say applicable to modern context. That is the most important thing we have to take care. And the basically the in research, the most important thing is logic. And the logic, all of us know, the study of valid reasoning, how we can have the valid reasoning. And what is reasoning? If you say, the reasoning is a process of using knowledge existing or newly acquired to make the prediction and draw the conclusion and the construct the explanation. That is the reasoning. And but how reasoning is done? One process we know, inductive and deductive. And when we talk about the deductive reasoning or deductive logic, that is basically from generalization to specific. And then we see that deductive reasoning is a process of linking the conclusion from the premise to specific conclusion, from general conclusion to specific conclusion. It can be a valid or it can be an invalid. It is the behind the formulation of the hypothesis. It is basically for the formulation of hypothesis, it is more important part, and this is also a integral to the objective ontology and positivist epistemology. Study based on basically ontological and epistemological positions, that is known to be the hypothetic deductive model also, that is more relevant also. So that is the deductive reason. When we talk about the inductive reasoning, that is based on observation, that are specific and limited, basically specific to journal. And the conclusion are not that much logical as it was in deductive logic, but evidence based on the inductive reasoning can be actively increase the human knowledge. This is for the increasing the human knowledge, and this inductive reasoning become the basis of grounded theory and source of for the formulation of hypothesis in the area where there is a little generalized knowledge. So one more these days we are talking about, that is abductive reasoning, that is similar to inductive reasoning, but it is basically lack of couplets either in evidence or explanation or in both. So when we talk about the social research, uh, because human being is a knowledge seeking or conscious being, that's why he keep on searching, keep on verifying, re-verifying, and contextualizing and reframing according to their need. That's why the research means you have to basically know the existing knowledge, whether it is relevant today, and how it can be relevant today, and the older you can say rules and regulation, whether they are need to be reformed, or they have to abandon. That is done in research. And when we talk about the social research, so social research, all of us know that how social research become the uh, uh, hallmark of these days. The social research means again uh, a human being, as a social being and human being, he has you can say studied a lot, invested a lot, and form the rules and regulation according to society and need also. But the things is there that they are not able to you can say that a comparison is also there. So social research means the searching the new fact, or searching the new principle applicable to modern times, and redefining or reframing the old existing knowledge that is basically related to human society. That is the basic. That is social research basically. And when we talk about the one more debate, always subjectivity and objectivity. That is the always goes on debate whether social sciences can be objective or subjective, because all of us know that we are dealing with a human being living in a society, and he cannot be the fully rational and cannot be a object like a object in natural sciences, and which can be forced or conditioned according to situation. But human being can control its emotions and other things, and can behave accordingly situations. That's why I used to call that human beings are not rational, they are bounded rational. And one of the this human relation approach, Herbert Simon has talked about that bounded rationality. So human, I used to say that human beings are bounded rational, not complete rationals. So that's why we see that the research, if you want to have good and pure research, then as much you can be free from the bias based on the caste, creed, race, fooding habit, or clothing habit, and speaking on the basis of language, reason, color. So then the knowledge we gather or research we do, that will be the more beneficial, more factual, more reliable. So when we talk about the steps of research, the social research is or doing social research is not a easy job. It is a basically the long and tiring job, and for this you have to be patiently you can say disciplined also, and conscious of all the happening around you. That is the most important part. And how you can talk the people, what kind of resources you are having, and how you can use your resources, and that all depend upon the your own capability and your meaningful insights, and how you relate the you can say data with the existing, and framing your research that depend upon the your own knowledge, and your you can say the framing that. So when we talk about the steps, basically, when we talk about the steps, the Ludberg, one of the famous uh, sociology who have worked on research methodology, he talked about the P.V. Young and Ludberg. Both of them talk about that there are four major steps. One is working hypothesis, another is observation and decoding, and classification and organization, and last one is generalization. Same way, PH Mann talk about the more process than Ludberg and P.B. Young. P.H. Mann talked about the first initial idea, how a idea comes to your mind, whether I should or do research on this topic or that topic. That is the initialization of your research. And then how this idea is related to present theory. That is the second step he talked about. And limiting the hypothesis, collection of the data, analysis of data, and statement of the result, and feedback to theory. So this has been talked by the P.H. Mann, and other fellow also talked about the how many steps are there. But in journal terms, I have basically organized them into various steps. So I will go one by one. So first and the most important steps of social research is the selection of research problem. How that is the basically I used to call that it is the most first and most important step. As PH Man also talk about the idea of a problem or idea of a statement, that become this is the basis of your research also, and how this basically working accordingly. So when we talk about the this depend upon your scientific insights, and whether it is this topic is viable or not viable, it is researchable or not. So R.L. Akoff, in his book The Design of Social Research, that he talked about the selection of research problem. Even P.V. Young and Downsett and Jehoda and Cook and Durkheim's, that they are also, all of them are saying that it should be basically new and practically possible and useful. The point to be noted that it should be new and practically possible and useful. That is the most. And next, he talked about the attitude of researcher. Again, icon before just now I have told you that the attitude of researcher, what kind of attitude a researcher is having, that is the most important while you are doing the research in any area. Then determine the area of field of research. What kind of field you are choosing for the research, and that is also important selection of problem. And the connection between guide and researcher. The most important things today or even before today is that what kind of relationship a researcher is having with his or her guide, whether both of them are thinking in same direction or contradictory. Both of them are basically two-way process they are having on the certain argument. If it is there, that depend upon the quality of research, that will affect the quality of research. So scientific observation of the existing practice, that is also important while you are selecting a research problem. And the idea of specialist, any research topic you are choosing, what kind of basically ideas has given and written or said about the specialist on that particular things. And we have to study the earlier sources, writing report and other thing, to find the research gap. That is the first step, which is most important, uh, which is the most important part. That I am giving the example. Just I am taking a hypothetical topic, that is the impact of caste on development of a child. So that is I have chosen for the example, this topic I have chosen. And for this, why I have chosen the topic, this topic, because you are seeing these days on the basis of caste, a children is not considered as a children, a citizen is not considered as a citizen or equal citizen or equal human being. He is considered as a human being lesser capable on the basis of the caste. So in context of that, I have hypothetically I have taken this problem to explain you. So this is my you can say one problem I have chosen. So for this, what I have to do, why I have chosen, I told you. And then the second most important part is that review of literature. Review of literature is basically the important part and of the your study, because by studying or reviewing the existing knowledge, in this existing knowledge, you can frame your own research proposal. That is the most important. And in review of literature, what we will do, we will study the previous work, or whether it is thesis, paper, books, reports, and publication. Uh, this help us to understand the various aspect of topic. The review of literature help us to understand the various aspect of our research topic or your research problem, and we will able to understand what kind of work already done. Any researcher or any social activist or any reporter or any other fellow who has done research on this topic, what kind of nature of research done earlier on, that we are able to understand. And by studying all these earlier existing knowledge, we will able to know the research gap, the gap left behind by the earlier researcher. That become the most important part. And to identify the research gap, this review of literature is very important. And by studying all things, we can frame the theoretical background of study. So, and we have uh, the new theoretical background to analyze our research. So, these are the main benefit of review of literature. So, I have taken the topic, the basically the impact of caste on development of a child. So, that was the topic. What I will do in this regard, the first of all, I will see that how the books written on the caste, then books written on the basically caste behavior and its impact, and how psychologically or socially and culturally impact a development of a child. And in that also, I will read the autobiography written by so many people on the basis of caste, who suffered a lot on the basis of the caste during their childhood, including Dr. Ambedkar and so many others. So that depend upon the. Then I will see what kind of gap it is there. Gap, what kind of gap I will find. See that even after the you can say the 75th year of constitution, still we have you can say literacy rate rise from this to that, and we used to call that civilized or that. So what kind of gap I find, that still, even despite of this much, the caste identity is main reinforcing your mindset and socio-cultural realm of the life, whether it is a child or adult or social being. So that will be the next part. And then I will see that next step is the basically objective of study. Basically, why I want to do the study, that become the most important part again, and that is the third. What is aim of doing the research, and what you do, what you want to explore, the research in relation to this topic. So that I have told you that the impact of caste on development of a child. Just hypothetically, I use this topic for your example. So in that, I have basically objective depend upon what kind of research you want to carry out, what aspect you want to cover. That will decide your the research objectives. And just like for this, I have to understand the impact of caste on the emotional development of the child, to examine the influence of the caste on the child's academic performance, and third, to explore the impact of caste on child interaction with others, and how the caste decide a person's self identity. So to make you understand, I have chosen this topic, this research. So that is the basically formulation of research objective. That is the most important part of research also. And then formulation of hypothesis. Hypothesis, all of us know, it is a statement whose whose basically truthness yet to be established. So various Gudenhart, Ludberg, Cohen and Nagel, P.V. Young, all of them. This is the basis for the research. Hypo means tentative, and thesis means statement, tentative statement. Just like P.V. Young used to say that it is a working statement yet to be tested, or it is a central point. So, a hypothesis is, you can say, what is the importance of hypothesis? It will limit your scope of study, delimiting the scope of study. What, how, and how. What, how much, and how. So, second is the providing the suitable direction to the study. After after formulating hypothesis, it will give a basically suitable direction toward your research, and stating the the purpose of the study. Basically, what is the purpose, main purpose behind you studying, and it also relevant what kind of data you are going to collect to verify your object, verify your hypothesis, and justify your object while explaining with data. So for this, I have chosen two type of as casteism increase, it will increase the social disharmony. One hypothesis. Another, higher the casteism, higher the discrimination. And so the formulation of hypothesis is important part of our very relevant part of our steps of the social research. So next step, usually I used to tell research design. So what kind of research design you are following? Whether research design is most important part, because research design is a plan for the research. It outlines the method, procedure of research, and it tells how researcher want to collect the research data, and what kind of methodology you will use, whether it is a quantitative or qualitative, what tool of data collection will be used, whether you are using questionnaire, schedule, interview, observations, and this will also decide who will be your basically respondent, and how many sample size you are going to take, and how will be the you will the data collected, how it will be analyzed, whether it is so true, whether you are going to show manual or graphic, or which test will you use to verify your hypothesis, chi-square or others. So depending upon your research topic, or a research topic will decide what kind of basically tool and technique and others you will going to use. So usually we talk about the mainly research design, exploratory, descriptive, and diagnostic, and experimental. We talk about the four major type of research design in research methodology. So that depend upon your basically topic. That depend upon your topic, what kind of research design you are going to take. Then then the next step is basically the sampling, the most important part. That what is sample? You know, the a small representing a whole, small number of things that represent the whole. The sample size vary according to your study topic. The sampling procedure is most important part while you are doing the research. So how you select the sample or respond from the common or total population to make it true represented. That's the most important part. Why sometimes cephalogist prediction fail? Because their sample size is so small that it cannot represent the whole total population, and because it vary according to socio-cultural and other factors, so so they are not able to read. So while doing the research, what kind of sampling procedure you take, and to select the respondent, that become the more important. Whether you are studying the different strata of society, whether you are studying the basically on the caste line or class line or economic line. So how you are you can say your topic is framed, objective is framed accordingly. Your sample size should be good enough to represent the whole sum of populations. So far, the mainly all of us know that random sampling is there, stratified, purposive, probability and non-probability samplings are there, types are there, and according to various technique, which technique you use according to your research topic, it depend upon. And just like we have chosen this topic, impact of uh, caste on the development of human being. So for this, I have to choose the particular school. First, I have to choose the area of study. For area of study, just for example, I have taken the area Simani, my own area. I have taken the Simani, and Simani, I talked about I have to take the school or colleges in which according to total population, the schools have of the students, and colleges have. Accordingly, I will take the sampling, which can be represent whole, because I have to take the sample from general population also. I have to take from particular the objective, that is scheduled caste or backward or tribal peoples. In Haryana, no tribal is there, so that's why only scheduled caste and backward caste student will be selected, and accordingly they because this can be the convenient or purposive sampling will be there. And I use because stratify, because the people from the even scheduled caste community or backward caste community who become the officers also, their children are not discriminated as you can say the people from poor background or rural background are discriminated. So I choose the sample from this side to that side. So for example, I have chosen the I've chosen the sample from the school and colleges accordingly my data. Then next step is the data collection. That is the most important, because you have to prove your hypothesis, and you have to justify or explain your objective. And how you can explain this, because you needed the data collection. And data collection or factual information, all of us know that can be the primary or secondary. uh, Primary data means we are using the primary data first time, and that is there are methods primary data, whether it is questionnaire, schedule, observation, interview, and case study method, or even panel studies, content analysis. These we will do in primary. And secondary, because primary is known to be the more reliable and basically bare facts collecting from the field. Primary is known to be. So primary data we use like that. So, and secondary data is already published or unpublished data, that can be government, national, international, local, report of committee, commissioner, various commissions set by different government at different time of intervals, their report, various NGO and other organization reporting on the basis of this, and research work done on earlier on this aspect of research, and newspaper and magazines, how they narrate a incident, and leadership, that will also show this thing. And uh, for this, what kind of methodology you will use, that depend. So first, methodology, questionnaire method is that, you know what is questionnaire. And questionnaire set of questions, okay. And it is basically when you have to quantitative data, it is used mostly for them. And because one limitation it is there, that is of because it if you will find, if you send the 100 questionnaire, you will have written back only you can say 50 or 60%, or even 70% maximum. And the whether respondent is able to understand the question, is not able to understand the question, and it is beneficial for collecting data from the only who are literate. And second thing is the questionnaire type question can be ambiguous, sometimes language can be ambiguous, or another want to don't want to see don't want to it you can say don't want to give answer of a particular question, or he can give the fake answers also. So that's why to improve this schedule method was introduced. And schedule, the set of the question researcher will take to respondent, and he will ask and he fill it. So that is more reliable, more way you can say respondent, if he or she is having some doubt on some questions, and any query he want to clear, he can clear in front of that researcher, or basically uh, enumerator, he can clear. So that will be there. So in then interview, all of us know that interview is qualitative, and interview is basically interviewing uh, a person. Matlab, you can say asking a person to say about the things, force him, and viewing his, it can be, you can say formal, informal, it can be you can say short period, longer period, it is full week. So that depend upon your research topic, what kind of research you are doing, what kind of topic you have taken. And then this case study method is there. That is again qualitative, and when you are taking a study of a single family or a single small group, and you can do that. For that, this is also used. Or and this observation is most important part. When you can see that when human being came into existence until now, observation, because we can say that science began uh, on the basis of the observation, and science ends on the basis of observation. And observation become the most important part. How you are observant, whether you are observation can be of different time. Moser also said, Bogardes also said. So observation is most important, whether it is a controlled or uncontrolled, whether it is participatory or non-participatory, it is quasi. So that depend upon a researcher how is taking part. Just like, for example, we visited basically Madhya Pradesh area in India to study the Bagoria festival in Madhya Pradesh in March 2025. And because we want to see the Bagoria festival, whether the tradition of celebrating Bagoria is as it is, or it has changed accordingly, time and space. And then we visited, me and my 6 to 7 friend and 3 or 4 professor from a particular area. We visited, almost traveled and visited various tribals areas, and have first hand information how Bagoria has changed. Because when I see this Bagoria 20 years back, and now I am seeing after 20 years, it's a lot of basically work I changed. We talked about these people and what is the notion of celebrating Bagoria festival, and what is this common people say, and what tribal people say, and what kind of notion political parties is having, how politicization of Bagoria festival has taken place, and how the traditional Haat Bazaar has changed into the modern Haat Bazaar, and what kind of the tradition they used to follow during the Bagoria festival, whether it is still existing or it has changed a lot. But according to my study, I have written, we all of us has written on this book also, Teddy, tradition under the transition, changes and continuity of the Bagoria festival among the Bhil tribe. And this book has released this month only. So that was the basically we have explained in that while talking to tribal family men, tribal headmen, and what kind of you can say welcoming to other person they used to, and now how they are welcoming, and what kind of relationship between male and female, and family head and others, and what kind of government schemes had changed the tribal masses, and how politicization and their local realization changed. So that was the basic part how we studied at that time. That depend upon our observation. We observed a lot for that, and because I become the participator in that, I you can say beat their drum also, and participated in their dance and other things. So to have the first view, so that become the most important part when you do the research. So we are talking about the primary data collection. So what kind of methodology you will use to collect the data? The interview schedule is most commonly used for doing the research these days. And because interview schedule, and in the while constructing the interview schedule, you have to take care the utmost things. First part, A part will be the you are considering the socio-economic socio-economic profile of the respondent. So first part will be your interview schedule will be the first part one, in which you will have the basic information of respondent, whether it is related to name, occupation. If he didn't want to name his or her name, and then matlab, age is there, then caste is there, religion is there, occupation is there, government job, non-government job, what kind of material position he or she is having. So that will be the most, you can say, you can have almost 10 to 15 questions on that. And the question basically in this, you can say that while framing the question, B part, that is most important part, in which your research is based, and the data you are going to collect and data you are having, you are going to have, that depend upon the how you are framing your question. So second part or B part will be of the interview schedule will be your questionnaire. You basically the question related to your objective, question related to your topic will be there. So while framing these question, what kind of things we have to take care, that is the most important things. While framing the question, it should be clear, it should not be ambiguous or directly impacting the psychological mindset of a human being, or any questioning his or her capability. So we have to take care while framing the questions, and the questions we want to have answer from them, that should be specifically arranged in such a way that it should be linked one to each other. So we will have a comprehensive or good data for analysis. That depend upon our basic information we are going to go. For example, we have taken the topic of the caste, impact of the caste on the development of human child. So in that first part, we will frame the socioeconomic profile. Second part, we will say the which caste you belong. Okay, where which caste you belong, it is there. Okay, then do you prefer to sit with your friend according to caste? Your teacher, you can say, discriminate on the basis of the caste. The your friends in class, you can say, eat together, or go together, or play together, whether any caste discrimination or caste specification is there, whether teacher or any other person is, you can say, saying anything on the basis of caste, or demoralizing or motivating on the basis of caste, or making you to being inferior on the basis of the caste. And so many questions we will draw on these lines, and we will answers, we will get the answers on the basis. And then we will relate any incident if you have in your mind, which has impacted your you can say motivational scale or your achievement skills, and whether you are achiever or not. If you achieved a lot, but still you are considered as a belong to particular caste or class data, that is also a questions. And when you performed better, what will be the what was the reaction of your friend, teacher, and other thing. You, when you prove, you can say, proved yourself excellency, then what kind of attitude and others people have, and the people near your mohalla and other they were having. So that become the more important part. So after collecting the data we collected the data from the respondent, and then the next step become the most important. All of are important, but this is also important, classification of data. The classification of data is most important part, because all of us know that without classifying data, you cannot draw any kind of conclusion from that. So for drawing the conclusion and linking the data with objective and generalization process to be begun, we have to do the classification of data. Classification of data we will do according to questions, according to part, and that depend upon the you can say the question you ask, and according to the similarity and dissimilarity, and according to virtue, on the basis of whether this or that, we are going to classify the data. And the classification depend upon the best classification, that every data should have no data should remain, every should be classified one group or other group. So grouping of data on the basis of similarity and dissimilarity is the most important part. After classification, you will find that data become the more you can say more basic understandable, more comparable. And you know that every household family know when first week of month is going on, so what kind of we will say that we will ask that ghar ka saman le aao, please bring the home's requirements of the basically rasoi kitchen. So kitchen's whole we can material requirement will come in a you can say big thela or like that, big bag. So what kind of we will arrange that? We cannot see for according to that. But after opening that bag, we will classify. We are putting tea in tea box, sugar in sugar box, and flour in flour box. So we are classifying that things into. In same way, we have to classify the collected information or collected data accordingly. Whether how many, just for example, when we ask the question, how many of you have experienced the caste-based discrimination? So, for example, that you will find that the people from a rural background and poor economic class will say that I have experienced, but 90% or 70 to 90% people will say yes, I experienced. But the people from government servants children or basically upper class, then he will say that I have lesser. So data will be the lesser. So same way the classification becomes important. And then the most important next step is that that is tabulation. Tabulation, all of us know. Classification we have done, okay, but without tabulation it will not become you can say it not become the understandable. So to make it more understandable, more reliable, and more you can say comparable and easily understandable, so we will do the classification, oh sorry, tabulation. And tabulation means we are putting data into different columns and rows. So that's why I'm told you that in the kitchen you will find that after classifying, you will the you can say the requirement, daily requirement, you will find the easily accessible on the daily accessible, and then you will see that the material, the things which you required within a week or 10 days, that will be separated or put in different rows. And the things which is used once in a month or twice in a month, that will be tabulated in different way. In same way, data will be data collected and you have classified, and then you have what you do. So you have to the data which has been classified, you have to tabulate them according to their virtue. So for example, we have taken the data, the impact of caste on so we have the questions that have you experienced the discrimination, have you the top the class, and have you so accordingly that questions we will tabulate them into yes, no, or cannot say, or whether that depend upon your into schedule what kind of question you framed, or so that after tabulation, you can say that data become more expressible, more comparable, or you can say more good to have generalization process. So after that, we will do the generalization process. Before generalization process, what we will do, that data you collected, uh, data you have collected, so how we will see the data, and even while doing the classification and tabulation, then coding and editing also will be done. And that the uh, how to measure the variable and other things. So coding will be done accordingly. Normally we will use the nominal, ordinal, and interval scale uh, to measure the data. And response category for the question are assigned the number, and the coding will be done, and then finally analysis will be start. And one more thing is how you present the data while doing the research, and while doing the preparing the your you can say dissertation or thesis or MA project or BA project. That become the most important, how you present the data, whether you are presenting through the graph, you are presenting through the bar, pie chart, and other method, and how which kind of tools and technique and software you are using while doing your research. So presentation of data is also there. After that, the analysis of data, the analysis of data will be done, and you will see while doing the analyzing the data, you will see the whole questionnaire, and you will see the question wise tables or graph or bar diagram or pie chart or any other. How you explain a table data, and then you have to explain accordingly, and how it while you can say citing any other study which has you can given to same table or related to that also, that you have to explain. And if you compare with the government data and your table, then also sources of the government table is also should be shown. So analysis of data, and then we will generalize, or you can say the summarize, or drawing the conclusion, the whether the objective we have decided in the beginning, and the hypothesis we have decided in the beginning, that has been proved or not. That objective we have you can say decided at that time, that has been proved or not. For example, we have taken the topic impact of caste on the development of a child. We have make two options. As casteism will rise, social disharmony will increase also. So you will find the so many examples. eh? What kind of matlab behavior on the basis of caste in the school days, in school or college or university, is done on the basis of the caste. So you can have enough examples, or whether your study prove it, or your data you gathered from the field, it is proving your this hypothesis or not proving. Second hypothesis, I think we will made the higher the casteism, higher the discrimination against these castes, and lower the basically achievement pattern of the child. So that depend upon how a human being is underestimated on the basis of caste, whether he is a capable, whether he is a knowledgeable, whether he when you found earlier on, you don't know his or her caste, you are you are praising his or her knowledge, praising his way of talking. But as soon as you come to know about the the caste of a respondent and caste of a particular person, then your whole notion of saying, earlier saying, will be dismantled, and you will think in that direction. So that also explicit during the generalization. And definitely it is there, whether this casteism will increase, then discrimination against these people will increase. So according, when we see the data, whether these two hypotheses have been proved or not, and the process we started, the objective we have decided whether it is there or not, that has been proved. So then we will do the report writing. And report writing means we are going to report writing, we are going to begin with how we selected this problem, why we selected this problem, and why we have chosen this topic for doing the research. What were our basically aims and objective to do research on this particular uh, topic, and what kind of basically concept and hypothesis and basically definitional aspect of various concept or various things we have used in this, and what kind of methodology we have used in this, that will also will explain in report writing or in final summary or final conclusion. And finally which method we use and how. When you are explaining your data, always remember, when you are explaining your data in table, then you should see whether any causal relationship exists between that or not, and you have to explain. And even you can cite the earlier study which has similar result, that you will say that in 1920 or sorry 1980, this same this kind of study conducted somewhere, and that also fine. That will make it more reliable, more worthwhile. So after your study, what kind of shortcoming you faced during doing your research, what kind of you can say flaws you have noticed, which you despite of your all effort you cannot do, you cannot remove all shortcoming or other things. So what kind of suggestion you can give, or you can make for the other fellow being who want to do similar study on similar topic or some way or other way. So what kind of study you are next you are proposing, you can do, that will also should be given. And the what can be the basically your suggestion for the policy maker or government, that will also help the government and help the administrators to formate the policy, because you have done the study on this particular topic and you are with relevant data and other things. So what kind of policy can be framed to you can say to abolish the discrimination at the school or colleges or other things. So you can suggest the policy measure. Earlier policies were having this type of measure to tackle this problem, and now in current situations, what kind of change we needed in current policy and programs to tackle such kind of discrimination, you can suggest that also. That will be the most important part. And finally we have to do the bibliography, whether is APA style or other styles, which kind of, that depend upon university, that depend upon your guide, and normally which bibliography writing is followed. You have to see the book, and in that you should take care while writing the bibliography. You will see the university guideline, UGC guidelines, and what kind of guide, your guide suggestion is there. So each and every things should be quoted, and you can say you can say documented while writing the bibliography. The people whom you taken the advice, and the people who you can help your during your research, and all of them should be acknowledged uh, while you are writing, whether you are writing the thesis, project, and other things. And the reference you have chosen, that also be taken care of, that. And you know that uh, you have to also in last you have to attach your interview schedule also, and brief summary also. So that will be the whole process of doing the research. As I started from begin, that uh, the research is not a one way process. Research is not a easy job. For the doing the research, you should be the keen observant, and your scientific attitude should be there, and you should be the matlab, learner also, and listener is most important. And you should be the you can say your eyes and ears should be open to observe each and everything, and then only you can be a good researcher. And irrespective of caste, creed, race, and other kind of influence you can have during the field visit, you have to dismantle all kind of prejudices on basis of all these things. Then only you can do a good research, and that research can be laid the foundation for the a good policy for the human welfare and societal welfare. And you can also be a pathfinder, or for the other peoples to follow your path on that particular research topic. That will be good enough. And in present context, the a good researcher is you can must needed in present context, because we are passing through such a transitional phase where such kind of thing that so truth and good knowledge or well informed researchers should be there. Then only we can have better knowledge, and good knowledge that can help the human being, that can helping the reshaping or well-being of all human beings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an extensive analysis of the different steps of social research, starting from introduction, literature review, and then the objectives, methodology, data analysis, conclusion, references, appendix. Thanks a lot, because our participants got a lot enriched with your detailed lecture and your session on the different stages of social research, which is extremely essential while conducting any kind of scientific research in social sciences. Thanks a lot. Now, I would like to request the participants, if they have any queries, any observation, any feedback, kindly write in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask the guest speaker for today directly. Anyone has any queries?
Dr. Madhurima, you can give me my WhatsApp number to them. If they have any query later on, they can contact me, or my mail.
Okay, sir. I'll provide them in the group.
This is my book on research methodology. You can see.
Yes. Anyone has any queries? We have participants from Nigeria also. So if you have anything to ask, sir, please go ahead. I don't think so there are any queries or anything, because sir has given a very in-depth and a detailed analysis about the stages of social research. So with this, we come to...
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session. Is very enlightening. Thank you so much. Sir, my question is about the number of respondents for qualitative research. Basically, for quantitative research, if you have a population size that you are to have research on. Okay, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Saudatu from Nigeria. Sorry. So if you have a population size for quantitative research, there are some certain criteria that you will use to measure the appropriate number of sample size that you will need for that population through maybe the Morgan and Cresciti formula or formula that have been designed to know the appropriate number of sample size that you will need for a particular population size. But then, sir, my question is on qualitative research, is there any criteria that suggests the appropriate number of respondents that you need for a research? Because in some authorities, you'll see that they will say that 25 to 30 respondents is okay for a qualitative research, and some will say 5 to 10 respondents is enough for a qualitative research. So, sir, is there any criteria that justifies the appropriate number of respondents that you need for a qualitative research? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Tukur Umar. Basically, the sample size, basically we see whether it is qualitative or quantitative. As we know, in the quantitative, we usually have large sample, and sample size can be, you can say, approximately 20%, we will say. It is not basically well decided, but 20% we usually follow in quantitative quantitative research. We will have the total population 20% population, 20% sample size is quite representative sample. But in qualitative, you have to be because qualitative depend upon the limited study, and that comes under the whether it is case study or the depend upon the small size studies. So that in that you have to take care, because that's how you are going to do it. Smaller group is there, then you have to select whether it is a group or smaller group or smaller community size. In that it will be the minimum. It can be matlab, be 5 or 10%. That will be the sample size. For example, someone is doing studies on this Adani family. Okay, so for Adani family, that will be the case study method on Amitabh or any other. That will be the certain family is expect, and his family members will be included. If you take the example, just like you will take the smaller group, Chinese people in Calcutta. Okay, so in that also, that will be a qualitative study, because you are choosing a certain population, and among them you have to choose the smaller size. That will be the more, because this qualitative research is more specific and more basically regressive, because you are focusing on certain things to have the you can say to nail information. So that's why we use the qualitative data. And while you are having journal uh, population data, we want to have do survey kind of things and other for the form, then we will take this the quantitative data. That is the main. And you can have my number. We can discuss on later on also on this thing.
Thank you so
All
much,
right.
sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Any other queries anyone has? So I think there are no such queries. I will be sharing sir's contact details in the WhatsApp group. So eventually, if you have any queries later on, you can address the speaker directly. So with this, we come to the end of the 5th day of the second International Faculty Development Program. So my sincere gratitude to Professor Dr. Bhup Singh Gaur sir, who is an erudite himself and a great stalwart figure in sociology. My sincere gratitude to sir for taking out his valuable time and addressing all of us on a very, very important issues which is extremely required in social sciences. Because understanding the stages of social research will help us to go through a long way in research, starting from master's, MPhil, and then PhD, and even after PhD. Thank you so much, sir, for addressing all of us. Thanks a lot. We look forward to future endeavors with you. We are coming up with upcoming projects like International Conference on Gender Studies, which will be organized on a hybrid mode. So there we would like to invite you as one of the guest speakers.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir. And also my sincere gratitude to our respected director, sir, without whose guidance and support, this event would not have been possible. And also my gratitude to all the participants for joining today. The assignment link has been posted in the chat box. Kindly fill up the assignment link by the end of today. Thank you so much, sir, for such an enlightening and insightful session. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good day, sir.